For the European Union, crisis management and conflict prevention are relatively new areas of work. The first communication that was adopted on conflict prevention is dated 2001. This is not to say that there was nothing before. We had development programs. Within the development programs, there were a number of actions that you can retrofit and say we were already doing prevention, we were already doing political dialogue, we were already doing a number of things, but the political framework of saying we are an actor involved in prevention, involved in management of conflict, intervening in crisis, only developed at in the late 1990s. And you know the recent history that led to that. The history of the 1990s, the changes that led to the reconfiguration as well of the European Union, brought about this awareness that there was a need to also focus on areas that had been outside of the real of European institutions before, and mainly it was at the behest of the French and the British starting to discuss possibilities to create instruments for a European and security defense policy in the late 1990s that the process got started. So how do we do it? Well, European institutions have a number of ways of dealing with crisis and conflicts. I divide them into short-term and long-term to give some structure, and obviously all of this happens at the same time. In the short term, we have a number of actions in the area of preventive diplomacy. At the political level, the European Union has appointed a number of EU special representatives that act on behalf of the European Union and carry out classic mediation, contacts, travel to regions, reporting back, and try to develop, whenever they can, political solution that can be supported by the members of the European Union. We also have a network of missions, of delegations around the world, fairly comprehensive networks of embassies that are not called that, not to upset the French mainly. Then we have crisis management missions. Crisis management missions are a more recent development. They are the embodiment of European security and defense policy. We had both civilian and military missions, and to date we had about 20 such missions. The 300 monitors that have been deployed to Georgia recently, the civilian monitors, are the latest example in the series of missions. We also intervene in prevention in terms of projects and actions on the ground. And a couple of years ago, we set up a stability instrument, an instrument that was devised to have funding available at very short notice to go and intervene in areas where there was a perceived need. The stability instrument is an interesting tool to start if you want to look at what kind of actions European institutions undertake in prevention, because that's the mandate. It's unlike any other European funding that takes months, if not years, to come on stream. This funding is there, it's available, it's usually released within a matter of weeks, and has very short-term span. It's there for 18 months, non-renewable, and it tries to bridge to more classic funding from other European programs. What kind of things does the stability instrument do? Just a few examples. We supported the EU United Nations Joint